Hello, everyone. Welcome to our second episode of Park Streamers Hangout. And we are here with Berry Place 28, Theme Park Casual, and Cordy in California. We'll kind of start out with just a quick introduction. So, Berry Place 28, if you could let everybody know where they can find you on social media.
Hey, everyone. Welcome to our hangout today. You can find me on Berry Place 28 at Instagram, Twitter, and of course YouTube. So please, hit that like button for all of our channels here today. And with that, how about Theme Park Casual?
Hey kids, welcome. I'm excited about this. This is our second episode, and I'm hoping the second of hundreds, because this has been so much fun hanging out with you guys, even outside the parks. So, but you can find me on YouTube, Theme Park Casual, and on Instagram and Twitter, the same handle, Theme Park Casual.
Great. And Cordy in California, you can find me on YouTube, Cordy in California. Same thing on TikTok and Instagram. So hope to see y'all there. So today we just we had a few things that we wanted to talk about, some exciting things that happened recently, namely the 68th birthday. And I wasn't there, but Theme Park Casual and Berry Place 28 were both there. So they'll be able to share, kind of like what happened that day. And I know we have a video for you. So if anybody missed it, you'll get to kind of see what happened there. And also San Fransokyo, just updates there. It officially opens August 31st, but of course, as we lead up to that, we start to see foods and merch and things popping up before then. And then we'll just kind of, end with some updates at the theme parks around Southern California. So if we want to start with the big birthday bash.
All right, so let me go ahead and bring this up for everyone to see. This is actually the whole 5-minute cavalcade that they actually had here at Disneyland for Disneyland's 68th birthday. So I'm going to play it, and as we're watching it, I'm going to go ahead and take a time out to talk about some of the parts with this. So with that, let's get it going.
On this day in 1955, a magic kingdom was born. 68 years of unforgettable memories began when Walt Disney himself offered this momentous proclamation.
Welcome to this happy place. Welcome.
Okay, so I'm going to stop it right there because so if you notice that this cavalcade comes down the street and I'm thinking, okay, they're going to play something on the speakers. It's going to be something really big. And really all they have is the Disneyland band playing. And the Disneyland band is playing, but it's so low that the dancers are dancing, but it's not like the parade. Magic happens. You hear.
I was going to ask because it seemed like there was actually more music here than where I was. I was halfway up Main Street. And what they did was they stopped up near It's a Small World, did the little presentation or whatever you want to call it, came marching down to Main Street, did one there, and then came down to Town Square and did the final stop here. On Main Street, it was like deathly quiet as those first dancers were coming by. And I was kind of like, are the speakers out? Are they not playing music?
Right.
And hear the band because they were still like around the corner at the hub. And so it felt so awkward because you could barely hear any music going on, and the dancers are doing their best to get everybody into it, but you're just kind of like, what's going on here?
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, and that's what I thought too. I, in fact, when it was coming down Main Street, because I was watching from where you were at, and I was like, okay, I don't really hear anything but the band, and it's really low. And they came around the corner. I thought, well, what the heck is going on? This is kind of crazy. But I thought, okay, well, they just won the band. But then it really left a lot because I was like, well, these dancers must be having a hard time dancing this music because they can barely hear it. I can barely hear it. So that was kind of disappointing. Now, before they did this whole, announcement with Walt Disney's voice, which I'll continue playing here in a moment, I thought it was just going to be, I don't know. I knew it wasn't going to be very long, but I thought it was going to be more of a, hey, check us out. Here we are. This is what we're doing for Disneyland's birthday. And it kind of came in with a whimper. So I don't know. I mean, Cordy, did you see any of this video before what I'm showing you right now?
No, I was kind of jumping around and watching it as it went, down the line. So yours was, of course, here, right, where it kind of, this was kind of the end of the line, right?
Right.
But and I went last year, so it was pretty much the same as last year. But yeah, there kind of was a change, like you were saying, Theme Park Casual, where depending where it was on the route, it did vary. Like, I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, and by the way, this is from my live stream yesterday. So I was kind of focusing on where Mickey is right now. And I know I'm kind of in the widescreen mode here. So it's hard to see him, but I wasn't sure if he was going to do something. And eventually you'll see the camera move. But let's go ahead and hear Walt Disney's welcome speech.
Today is the day to celebrate. Please join us in singing Happy Birthday to Disneyland.
So this is the other thing. I was wondering who was talking because I'm doing this live stream, and it's actually the band leader that's actually doing the talking. And I wasn't sure at first. Obviously, when I went back and watched the replay, and I was like, oh, it's the band leader that's talking. So I thought that was kind of interesting that they had the band leader talking. I thought, you usually have those announcements that are, really, really nice and on the speakers again, but it was just from the band. And then they said, okay, let's go ahead and sing Happy Birthday. So that's what we're going to watch right now.
Can I say something real quick though?
Sure.
Again, first off, with the band leader, I'm torn whether I like it or I don't like it. I like the fact that it felt kind of intimate and extra friendly that way by having the person right there, and you could tell that she wasn't ultra rehearsed on it. It felt, almost natural, like she was put on the spot and I got to say something kind of thing. Because when she was on Main Street, she was semi-flubbing the lines a little bit. So, it felt less production-y, if you will. And I kind of like that, and I kind of don't like it. It's like I'm like, you don't want it overproduced, but then it's also, this feels a little underproduced.
Right.
So,
well, for me, it was underwhelming, and that's why I missed the production value on this, because everything they do is production value. Come to the fireworks, the parade, Fantasmic, everything is production value. And this felt like, hey, we're coming in to wish happy birthday. Okay, we're gonna sing happy birthday. Okay, we're done. Type thing. So, it just was a little awkward.
Yeah, I would have enjoyed some confetti cannons or something like that, just to kind of spark the crowd a little bit, give it that little bit of a festive atmosphere, because this was, like you said, that it was kind of pretty underwhelming. So, but I do want to bring up that they played Walt's speech, because last year they didn't.
Mm-hmm.
And a couple of friends of ours, Orange Grove 55, I believe he was quoted in Newsweek because he put out a tweet bashing Disneyland for missing that.
Right.
And his tweet, I believe his tweet went semi-viral. And like I said, I think it was Newsweek that, you know, had a story about it and used his tweet in it. So they brought it back. We will give them props for it. We will let the past go. We'll let it be that it was an oversight or, you know, a technical error from last year. They've got it back, and that's the way it should be. So good job, Disneyland. Don't do that again.
Yeah, well, and I think that's great that they played his speech. I mean, it was, but that's the thing, is that you went for some non-production value to production to non-production. Now, I'm cool with everyone singing Happy Birthday because I thought that was great, and I thought that was pretty wonderful because we all got to participate in that, which you'll hear in just a moment. And hopefully you don't hear my squeaky voice on the live stream, but you know, that was really cool. So let's go ahead and kick that off and play the Happy Birthday song.
We're so glad you joined us for this special day in history because you are a part of the magic. 1, 2, 1.
So that's cool. You know, everyone got to sing Happy Birthday. I'm really happy that, you know, we got to do that. That was really nice. You know, again, it was hard to hear her. Even there, I was standing right next to where she was in front of her, and it was still a little hard to hear. So I'm glad that, you know, I was able to, but I would have thought that, you know, they would have had her a little bit louder for everyone to hear. And then, of course, they played this little, you know, ditty for the characters coming out. So I'll play this real quick.
2, 3, 4.
So I'm gonna stop it right there real quick. So they play Magic Happens, which is cool, and the band's playing it. But then there's not a whole lot of music, you know, for the characters, and they're kind of just dancing and doing their own thing. Obviously, everyone's calling out to them and happy to see them, but you know, it's kind of missing that atmospheric music, that joy, that celebration. Like, you know, when you go to a bar or a club, they play music loud so that you're into it and you're having fun. There was really no music other than that band, and once that band left you, you really didn't hear the music that loud. So it was like, where's my celebration music to go with these characters? And I just think it would have been so much better if we could have, you know, heard that loud music over the speaker. It would have been energetic. It would have been fun. It would have been, wow, this is really cool. I'm excited to be here type thing.
Yeah, I agree that it didn't have a very festive atmosphere. And that's what was, I think, the part that was missing. I wanted it to be, I don't know, the characters were fine, but at that point, play some music over the speakers that gets everybody kind of bouncing, you know, that's got some liveliness to it. and then get the characters to, pull some kids or people out of the crowd, do a conga line, for crying out, do something. It's.
I wanted the cake. Did you guys see that video going around with the?
Oh yeah. Where the
There's a
pieces of
cake.
cake are all running around.
Yeah. There is a cake at the end here, and we're going to show it to you, but there's no cake that, like, they weren't passing out cupcakes. There's no, anything that they passed out. It was like, hey, we're having a cavalcade at 11:45. Show up and enjoy it. And this is what it was. So let me go ahead and continue on so you can see the rest of the characters and the cake at the end. Then let's talk some more.
Hi, Tweedos!
And again, don't forget, you can barely hear the music at this point.
Right, exactly. And that's a cake, but it's a cool looking cake. I definitely liked it, but not a whole lot to this whole thing, right? And then look at the Disney people behind there walking up. So for me,
is that, would it kill them to give them
Disney
the little sticks with streamers on them for them to wave around? I mean,
right. Or how about the Mickey hands? Or how about no one's waving at the crowd? None of the employees are like, hi, how you doing? No one's greeting anyone. It's like they're just walk behind it. And I'm looking really carefully, and I've looked at this video several times. Where's Ken Potrock? He's not even there. Now, granted, he doesn't have to be there, but the president of Disneyland, you think.
Yeah, I'm sorry. If any one of us was the president of Disneyland, I can guarantee we'd be fighting to say, no, I want to be on the float. I want to be out there walking. I want to be the one doing the announcement.
Right.
It's like, give me the mic. That's how I would be. It's like, I'm the president of Disneyland. I want to go have fun. I want to celebrate this place.
And here's the thing. Ken did do a video on Instagram, and he did post on social media. It was a really cool, video that he recorded, but I would have liked to have seen that in the cavalcade, something like that. So while it was nice they did this, right? You and I waited well over an hour just to see this, cavalcade. And when it came, I kind of was like, okay, so that was it. And again, it's not that I'm appreciative. Hey, we were there to celebrate Disneyland's birthday. It was awesome. I just, for Disneyland standards, expected more from them and more of that production value. And then not only that, but I expected the cast members, or at least the employees here, to, say hi, wave, but we got none of that. So let's watch just a little bit more. And that's it. Oh, and there's Ariel right there. So, not real thrilled with how that cavalcade went. I thought it was going to be a lot more pizzazz, more production, more something, even though, I don't know, maybe it's just because I love Disney so much. I wanted them to do that. And that could have been the thing too. I wanted them to be like that, and they weren't like that for me. But regardless, they did celebrate the birthday. I just would have liked to have seen stuff that was more of a, hey, we're having a celebration today. And there really wasn't, any of that.
Yeah, Judy's obsessed with Disney, says maybe we are so used to being wowed by Disneyland, our expectations are too high.
And that could be it too,
Yeah, I kind of agree with that. But at the same time, when I see things like this, it seems to me like I don't think they quite understand who the audience is for these types of moments. They have a chance to hit us in the feels, to make us teary-eyed. I mean, I got a little teary-eyed hearing Walt's speech, but that was it. Right. There's so much that they could do to get us rabid fans, the ones who have those memories there at Disneyland. This is way more than just an amusement park, a theme park for most of us. We have so many memories with our families there that when people start talking about those memories and what it means to them, we start getting emotional with them. And that's, I think, what I wanted out of it. I wanted to sit there and I got to hide my face because I'm starting to cry.
Mm-hmm.
And
Well,
there's moments that do that to me at Disneyland. You know, it's like there are those times where sometimes I'll be watching Fantasmic, or even during the fireworks or something like that. There's just those times where you're just hit by that emotion. And a day like that, I wanted them to basically go in and stick it to me, push those buttons and really make me go, God, I love this place.
we've got some great comments in the chat here. So Foolish Mortal says, felt like they came up with it the night before. And it kind of does, unfortunately, that's the way it kind of felt.
Yeah.
And then Mermaid Plan says, we expect too much, but the budget went to the 100th. LOL.
That's an underhanded compliment right there.
Thanks, Mermaid Plans. Trish says, for that amount of money, you want to get wowed, and for many of us, we're annual pass holders, but for the people who are going there and they're spending money, you think that, there would be a little more wow factor to that, and that we would be, I don't know. It just seems like in the past, when they've celebrated Disney's birthday, they used to do things that were just like cool. Like they used to have videos up in the park of, some of the moments from when Disneyland opened, or, they gave pins away or cupcakes or whatever it may be. But there just wasn't anything like that. And I know things have changed, since, pandemic and whatnot. But, and also, Disney's not doing really well right now. And so, I know that money might be an issue. But regardless, you think that they could at least come up with that production value to make you go, this was amazing. I'm so glad I came here today. And to be honest with you, I've gone to Disneyland's birthday last 2 years, and I've been underwhelmed each time. So it's not that I don't enjoy. I still had a great time. Obviously, I was there with you and then some of the guys from Orange Grove 55, my daughter and your son, and Dre's parents. It was a great time. We had a wonderful time and amazing. But still, I think it would have been extra special if they would have taken the time to do something of a production value for the people who are there, just to make it extra special for their birthday. They probably will for the 70th and the 75th, but there's just nothing really for the 68th, unfortunately.
Yeah, that's what I think. It's kind of just those bigger milestones is where I guess, witnessed more of a little more into it, right? A little more involved with the celebration. But they weren't free, but they had the donuts. Did you guys get a donut?
No,
they had special donuts for.
Well, they weren't free, but they were these this way. I'm opposite.
Nope.
No, I didn't know they had them.
You didn't get a donut.
They have little celebration birthday donuts. Did they have pins or anything that you could go pick up? Nothing, like at the front, right? When you walked in, it was
no, they didn't give any pins out, but they had pins you could buy. So we were there with cool. We were right next to Main Street Cowgirl, and so she actually went and got some of the special pins. Now the crazy thing is that they had this really nice one called Walk with Walt, and it had 5 pins inside. It was $125 for 5 pins, so $25 each. I looked at it and I was like, wow, that looks amazing. It looks really nice. You open the box, it's got pictures from opening day. But it was kind of like, I don't want to spend $125. The crazy thing is, within 2 hours, everything was gone, and you couldn't buy those pins. They also had some mystery box pins. Now, I don't know why they did the mystery box, but they actually had pins that spelled out Disneyland, and it was like 2 letters for each pin set. But the problem is, you could only buy 2. So if you wanted to buy this pin set and get all of them, you literally had to go find someone else to try to buy the pins for you, because you only buy 2 of those boxes. That doesn't make any sense at all. Why make it a mystery box, and why only let people buy 2 if they're trying to collect all the letters to spell out Disneyland? Now, thankfully, Main Street Cowgirl was able to do that, and it was wonderful. She posted on Instagram, and you can see those on her site. But the thing is that I know she was disappointed, because she's like, I don't know what I'm going to be able to do. And, she, had talked to some other streamers around us, and they had offered to try to go buy some for her so that she could try to complete them. And I'm not sure what she ended up doing, because I never saw her after the cavalcade. But to me, as a guest who loves to buy Disney stuff, that's kind of a disappointment. I would want to go and buy that stuff and make sure I get the whole set. And if you can only buy 2 and it's a mystery box, you don't know what you're getting, you may not get that full set. That doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me as a guest. So
yeah, maybe it might just be a direction. I know pin trading is such a big thing, you know, right
Yeah.
now. It's trending, I guess, right at the park. So, and I mean, to be honest, with that and the Munchlings, people spend more money than they would if you could just buy the set. So, you know,
Yeah.
perhaps that plays into it, you know, as well. So,
Yeah,
Maybe.
I'm not big on the I'm not big on the mystery box stuff. That stuff drives me nuts. In fact, when we've dealt with the Lego minifigures that are in the sealed packages, and we're one of those people that you'll see at the store.
Yep.
trying to feel.
Okay, I think I feel the little
Get it?
weird spot right here. I think I feel the shield. So we got the knight right here.
That's so
But,
funny.
yeah.
There's someone on Instagram, probably at Disney, and it was a joke, but she said she was doing Munchling training at the stores. So she was helping people, but she's like, the anxiety and the stress level of like, if I'm wrong and I told them that one's Baymax. It's pretty funny.
Well,
So speaking of Baymax,
yeah.
Yeah.
Speaking of Baymax, hey, let's talk about San Fransokyo. Hey, before we actually show some of this other stuff, let me show you some of the videos that Cordy recorded for us yesterday of the new San Fransokyo. So check this out. So we got the bridge there. So these are some of the little videos that Cordy had sent, and it's pretty awesome. Let me bring up this other part here. Oops, sorry. We'll get to that in a moment. So this is what the bridge looks like. Obviously, it's going to look red and in color. In fact, actually, I've got a banner here, and let me bring up my background here so you guys can see it, because I wanted to show you guys. But you can see right here in the background the actual, you know, what it's going to look like in the future. So it's white right now. It's going to be the color red. It's going to look really, really nice. I'm looking forward to seeing it when it's completed. And obviously it's going to be completed at the end of August, right? What's the date, Cordy?
Yeah, August 31st is when San Fransokyo will open. So that'll be kind of the debut. But of course, always look out for soft openings, right? A day or two, or at least a day before, but possibly 2 days before. But so right now, if you are going to the parks, just a quick reminder, because we even did it last night. I was there with Theme Park Detective and Main Street Cowgirl, and he started walking towards the bridge. I'm like, we can't go that way. You're so used to, like, you know, going over the bridge to cross over. That's closed. So until they finish all the work there, I believe that'll be, you know, closed till then. And there's still a lot of construction going on in that area. So, but slowly, and we'll get into talking about what has come out so far. If you guys are ready for that, I can go into that. And the Sipper, I don't know when that is coming out.
It's supposed to be coming out when they open on August 31st.
Okay. Because I know some things were, I saw a video where they were already making because they're going to have Baymax, the Bodine bread, right? They're going to have one shaped like Baymax, so there's going to be a lot of fun things. But so the Sipper, that's, I think, the one thing that I really haven't seen anything else released. So this is kind of the big item that everybody's going to want to get.
Right.
And then, so today is actually the official opening of the Lucky Fortune Cookery. They switched pretty much their whole menu over to go with the San Fransokyo theme. And here's the Baymax, the macaron. And I actually ordered it early in the morning. I wasn't going till the evening, but I'm like, just in case, I didn't want them to sell out. So, so that was pretty tasty. It's like, so the macaron, it was super fresh. It has like buttercream around the outside so that it keeps it all white. And then in the middle was a hazelnut spread, which basically Nutella. So I got to try that. And then We tried a few others. This is a new iced tea, so a lychee iced tea. That was very good too. So at the bottom you can see the lychee. It's like a coconut lychee, but you don't really taste the coconut. And then it's a black iced tea, and that was really good. And then this was my favorite. I think everybody that had this was a fan, but it's the beef birria ramen, and it was a really like hearty serving. So like if you just got that, that's a meal right there. It's like $15.49. So, it's pricier, which, usually with those dishes, even the tacos are pretty pricey, but,
it doesn't look like a very big dish though. I mean, look at your hand. You're actually holding the bowl
it was a big
itself.
bowl. It was pretty deep.
Was it? Okay.
Yeah. And so there were tons of noodles in mine. And then the broth is actually the consomme from the birria. So, and then they put a lot of meat, and then there's like fresh corn, like off the cob on top, and radish. And there's a lime, of course, right there. And then I don't think a lot of people were a fan of this, but there's a soft boiled egg. Oh,
I see that. Yeah.
Yeah, a whole egg. So I don't know if they'll keep that, because just a lot of feedback that I've gotten that wasn't a highlight of the.
What's a soft boiled egg doing here?
but if you get ramen, like sometimes they slice up the egg, but it's usually.
Well, I think that's what they're trying to do with this. It's a Mexican Japanese fusion, so you're going to get some aspects from each of the cultures in there.
Yeah. Because sukiyaki, you're like, crack that egg, raw egg in there, and it mixes up. So it's supposed to be like hot enough and it was. Right. It was a very, very hot dish. And then I also tried they had the pork wonton nachos, and those were really good. I just was already full. I was trying to get Theme Park Detective to eat these because I was like, I can't do anymore. Super spicy though, so just be careful with these if you don't like spicy food. The ramen was spicy too, but this had more of a kick to it, and this was like $10.99, I think. And there's a lot more to try. There's a chicken sandwich that I've heard mixed reviews on.
Are those? Did you say the chips? Are those just regular corn chips, or are those like wonton chips?
Wonton.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
so
it does look good though.
Really good. Yeah. And then I know there was a burrito that came back, the bulgogi burrito. I didn't have that, but I believe they had it during Lunar New Year. That's what I'm recalling, but maybe I'm mistaken. But I know I've had it before. And then it comes with like these garlic, kind of like rice chips. So I thought the food offering was really good. The quality of the food was really good. So I'm hoping they just, we have some consistency, but it's a great start to what's to come, here. Because there's going to be.
I like that it's not typical theme park food. That's what's nice. I hope that it's popular enough that they can keep it and they don't realize, that it's not selling, so they have to go back to just regular nachos. I hope it's not that kind of a situation.
Yeah, no, I hope. Yeah, I think, I don't know, these days there's a lot of people that visit the parks that kind of have the palate for this. So, and have been waiting for some of these types of foods to come on, because you can always go run and get a hot dog or hamburger, right? If you want to, there's tons of places to get that. So, it's nice to have something different over here.
All right. You want to talk about some of the merch?
Yeah. And just like a quick for San Fransokyo, there's tons of changes coming. So, kind of along the way, the Pacific Wharf Cafe is going to be Aunt Cass's Cafe. So they're going to have some fun food offerings there. I think there's like a beef curry bread bowl. So it won't be, like before we had like the broccoli cheddar bowl. So now we're going to have that. And then there's a clam chowder bowl that has bacon in it. So they're changing some things there. And then we'll have our Baymax bread, right, that you can get. And of course, all the changes, right, with the meet and greet that'll be over where the beer cart, what was it? I can't remember the beer place. they had a big beer cart, but that's been gone. And there's supposed to be a little shop
Was
there.
it the
so.
Carl Strauss?
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah, so I think it's gonna it's always been busy there, but I feel like it was more just somewhere to go sit. So I just hope that it becomes kind of like a spot that people are like, I want to go there. I want to go there and, actually like enjoy the food, right? Besides Ghirardelli, because we know. Thankfully, that's staying.
Thankfully, that's staying.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
But I think it's just such a nice. It's California Adventure's just gone through so many changes right over the years since it opened, and I'm feeling very optimistic that this is something, we're going in that direction of like just I don't know, making it extra special and it's just something different to, bring in some things that maybe not a lot of people know, because it's like if you're a big Hero 6 fan or Baymax fan, you are, and then there's other people that don't really know anything about it. So
Right.
I don't know. I just think that's kind of cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Yep.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Sorry, you're gonna say something,
we
man?
we can go to March. So just a couple. A lot of you already know that have been on my streams. These ears, oh my gosh, I still love them. I'm like, I wore them 2 days in a row, but I haven't been back to check to see if they still have them. But they were one of those items that everybody was, wanted to get and gotta find them. And so now, from what I understand, they will only have them at web suppliers and the Avengers Superstore. So they aren't supposed to have them at Disneyland anymore. They did previously, and I think maybe, I don't know if that was good or bad, because, they were running out so quickly. And when I went, they did not have a limit, but I have a feeling they will, unless they're getting, a ton of inventory in. Because I even heard somebody say that someone bought 25 pair of ears. So, but they're awesome. They're like really well made, and they're the same price as all the other ears. So they're $34.99. It's not like, $34.99. Is that bad? I don't even know how much I paid for them. You're like,
Oh my, Cordy. Oh my.
There's a shut up and take my money moment.
Exactly. You've been wanting those things for a while.
So, but yeah, they're pretty awesome. And that same day, I should have put that in here. Spider-Man was running through, and I was like, oh, this is perfect. He was running through, gathering up all the kids, and they were like jumping on the, holding on to the rails and like, come follow me. And then they all like took a picture together. It was pretty cool. But and then the other ears that I found over there, I saw these online or on Instagram, not through Shop Disney or anything, but these actually, interesting enough, I found them at I'm gonna forget the name, but the River Store by Grizzly River.
Oh yes,
Outfitters or something like that.
River Outfitters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I was in there just to. Oh, we went in to ask them for an extra bag, and then I was like, oh, they have Ursula ears. What?
Well, I'm laughing because last time.
To protect the Spidey ears, I needed another bag.
No, I'm laughing because on a live stream recently, I think it was last week, I went to that store, and I haven't been on that store in a long time. And I'm walking through going, oh, let's see all the cool stuff they have for Grizzly River Rapids. And I'm walking around going, why do they have Haunted Mansion stuff here?
I was going to say, there was somebody on the live stream that was like, why do they have this here? Why is this here? And it was you.
Was me. I was like, what is going on? So the fact that you found those ears at this place where I wouldn't expect to find it was kind of funny.
Yeah, I know. But don't call anybody, you guys.
Okay.
Keep that
And this is what they look
secret.
from behind.
Yeah, so I thought, and these two, they're like these are like a vinyl, so fitting, right? It just was perfect to go with like the Ursula theme, but really well made. Like that's what was impressive to me. I haven't wanted like the Spider-Man ears. I haven't wanted ears in like a really long time. Like they come out all the time. I'm like, no. I think they almost come out with too many, because it used to be, I don't know, it used to be kind of this event, right? When they would come out and you're like, oh, wow, those are really cool. And they were super special. And now we just get them like, I feel like every other day, a new pair of ears are coming out, which I understand, right? You know, it kind of appeals to different people, but for us that wear ears, it's like that represent, you know, it kind of represents like, I know there's more, a lot of people keep them in their car like me. So I get there. And
I was going to ask,
decide.
how do you store them or take care of them? Because I've seen people that they have basically a wall of frames, and inside each frame is a hook, and they can, so it basically becomes artwork when they're not in use.
That's funny. Yeah, I have all like the seasonal ones. I have them stored away in a like in one of those. I don't know. I have them in a bag, and then they're in a box. So those will come out. Like I have my Halloween and Christmas ones, but then my everyday ones I have in my trunk. I have a little organizer thing that, so depending how I feel that day, is what ears I wear.
That's funny.
So yeah.
So the next ones we have are, it's a Jack hat.
Yeah, and that's glow in the dark. And they actually, so it's just, if you're there shopping, you just kind of have to explore around, because you kind of, you know, a lot of people will go to the obvious stores, because when I went to, it's not Pieces of, I don't think it's Pieces of Eight. I'm sorry, you guys know I never remember the name of stuff. But the store that's right next to Royal Street Veranda, where they have a lot of the haunted, or haunted mansion stuff, and then the Pieces of Eight is the pirate stuff. But you know, everybody flocks there, and they're looking for all of the merch, and a lot of times they're sold out. Like we'll show the bag, the Jack and Sally heart bag. You know, that wasn't there, but then there was a little outdoor kiosk by Haunted Mansion, and that's where I found they had so many too. So that's where I found the hat and all the items that we'll show here. Just a few of the things that are out that were new. Yeah, so this Jack hat, and then the Foolish Mortal ears.
I like these Foolish Mortal ears.
I was going to say, I love that style. I've always been more of that graphic and flat kind of style, less realism, you know. That's always been what I love, like the small, like It's a Small World, you know. That's how I always categorize it with Mary Blair's, you know, very flat but not dimensional geometrics.
I think for me it kind of reminds me of the old poster of the, you know, Haunted Mansion that you'd see, you know, in the walking through the tunnels, you know, on Main Street. And so that's what I like. I just think it's nice, it's simple, but it's kind of like, it's menacing too, but fun.
Yeah Good colors
And then here, I thought we had the back side of them, but maybe not.
No, because it wasn't anything. I don't think I took a picture, because it was.
I think it's more of that pattern, if I remember.
Yeah.
I think it's just that same pattern.
The Madame Leota loungefly, which I've heard mixed reviews on this too. Some don't like the look of it, the cartoony, right? They're like, oh, it looks like I Dream of Jeannie almost, but but you know, there's something for everybody. There were quite a few of these bags. Because there's another one, oh gosh, I think it might be more of the Foolish Mortal type look, but this one was out there. And then I think next we have the Jack and Sally, possibly. Yeah.
Yep.
So that it's very cool. I don't know functional, but it's pretty cool looking.
Functional schmunctional.
Yeah, I know, right?
Right. So this is the front and this is the back of it.
Yeah. So really.
And that's just a handbag? Does it have a strap? Like
it
you
does
could
have
like
a strap inside.
Okay.
Yeah. So, and it's hard. It's like a hard shell, you know, it's a solid bag, but I thought that was pretty cute with, you know, kind of like if you carved in a tree or something, right?
Right. And I know your friend Jessica, she wanted to get it. She finally got it and she was all excited about having it. So.
When it first came out, she got it. They had one behind the counter at the Emporium.
Yep.
So, and actually, I think Jennifer's on here. Jennifer won this on one of our giveaways.
Oh, nice. Congrats to
Yeah.
Jennifer. Well, I know it's been selling out like crazy, so they've had a hard time keeping it in stock as well. So,
Yeah, that's why I say get it. If you're there and you see something you like, because you could always return it. Like, just get it because you never know if it'll be there or come back. Just get it.
well, Mermaid Plan says it's cute and she wished it was on a black jean jacket. That print.
You never know though. Well, they do have, and I don't have
They
a picture of it here. I have it like on the street. It was so much I didn't want to like overload Bob. Like, here, show this.
Right.
But we're just doing the merch search, and they have the spirit jersey. It doesn't have the writing like it does on the back of the bag, but it had like the front has the same Jack and Sally,
Mhm.
there, and then more of the like black and white stripes, like the Jack stripes. But that's pretty cute. And then the other one, which I don't have a picture here, is that the other spirit jersey was the Hatbox Ghost.
Oh, yeah.
And then it has the bride with the hatchet and then the mummy. That one's pretty cool. And that one glows in the dark too.
Very cool.
And then here's another loungefly. So, but I thought this was pretty cool. The Jack, like it kind of, it's not 3D because I was like, oh, is this like from last year's? Where they kind of have that 3D look. It's not. It's
Is it
more
the lenticular where the different angles, his eyes change and everything?
Yeah, it's
Okay.
like, exactly. Thank you. That word. And then there's Zero down there.
Yep.
And then the Sally ears, which I believe we had last year, but yeah, because those are the 3D kind of pattern. But
Right.
those came
So,
back.
speaking of Haunted Mansion stuff, I wanted to bring up some of the other food that we didn't get to talk about. So let me share that. Give me one moment to bring that up. So this is coming from Walt Disney World News Today. So thank you for your website. So we're going to use it on our stream here. But so this is one of the new food items. This looks pretty cool, though. I kind of like this whole little candelabra thing. And like how they make it look all bloody messy, but it looks good. So there's new Haunted Mansion food that's inspired by the film that's coming out on July 28th. That's going to be starting at Disneyland, obviously. So this is, the first one. I believe this is what do they call it? It's a vanilla mousse and seafood. Oh, that's a vanilla mousse and seafood boil. What the heck is that? Is that the vanilla mousse? Maybe that's
it has like a white chocolate shell around it and the mousse inside.
Yeah, that looks pretty yummy.
Very cool.
I was going to say that looks amazing.
It does. And the seafood boil looks really good too. I'm always good for seafood.
And then I heard, so for that, because it's Cafe Orleans is where you can find those. And you have to, or it's not a la carte, you have to do the prefix menu. So there's.
Right. Yeah. And actually mentions it right here. It's Haunted Mansion inspired prefix menu available at Kathleen Orleans. So, boy, this churro looks good though. Look at that one.
I know. I want to try that. I didn't get to try that yet.
I think it says down here, it's a April to December churro, strawberry flavored sugar with fresh strawberries, purple cherry sugar, freeze dried strawberries, and donut icing drizzle. That looks good. I want that. And then looks like we got a bread bowl here, and this is a potato and leek soup topped with pea flour, cream. Is it? I can't even say that. Is it Franchet? I don't know. Franchet? Herb oil and fried leeks served in a sourdough bread bowl.
Oh, creme fraiche.
It looks okay. It's what?
Creme fraiche.
Oh, see? Boy.
Somebody had that.
I cannot speak the French.
Curious Oysters on Instagram that I follow. They tried that today. And
was it good?
No, they showed it. They were trying to stir it, and there was a lot of oil.
Ooh. Yeah, that doesn't sound good to me at all.
Fine tune it, but they weren't. Yeah, they try everything. So it's like they were like, ooh, no.
Let's go on to the next thing here. So Madden Yoda, is this a cake pop? This is it's a cereal treat in black colored dark chocolate with teal and clack M&Ms embellished with Madame Leota's chocolate piece. That looks cool. I mean, there's not much to it though.
Cereal treat.
Yes, I know. Rice Krispie treat. It's a Rice Krispie treat with chocolate. Just say that, all right?
Yeah.
Hey, they got Mad and Leota on it though, so that's your thing. Okay, next one. This is a Pickwitch Ghost Punch at Royal Street Veranda and the Harbor Gallery. It's a combination of fruit, citrus juices, and sherbet. It's non-alcoholic. That actually looks good. That looks refreshing. Hey, that almost looks like the 2319 I had the other day. 2319. Sorry, inside joke there. So, all right, that's all that they had to offer there. So let me go ahead and stop that real quick and go back. All right. So with that,
yeah, we're going to some updates. So this is kind of the time of the show where we talk about like what's coming up, you know, like not just at Disneyland, but like the surrounding parks, not Knott's Berry Farm mainly, but yeah. So, and I still want to get a pass, but I think I'm going to wait because I know I was advised. I was advised to maybe wait a little bit.
Yeah, August, September, that's when they'll start throwing in the rest of this year plus all of next year. So
right, it makes it really worth it. So if you don't have a pass to Knott's Berry Farm, if you can hold out until August or September, usually it's August, they'll give you for the rest of the year plus all of next year for one low price. And it's the lowest price typically of the season, because I don't know why they do this, but they're like, oh, well, if you don't buy our pass now, it's just going to get more expensive. You go along and into next year, it gets even more expensive. It's like, ooh. So yeah, it's a great opportunity. And by the way, not knocking Disneyland. I love Disneyland, but Knott's Berry Farm is a great deal, and it's really reasonable because you can get a pass to Knott's Berry Farm, or you can get for a regular pass, pretty reasonable. You can get the Gold Pass, which includes the water park, or you can get the Platinum Pass, which includes all of Cedar Fair's parks around the United States. So,
yeah, gotta double check that. I saw something about the passes that's changing this year, and something about the Platinum Pass might be going away or changing into something different. So,
what?
Yeah, I have to read up on it. I didn't double check that one yet, but I saw somebody commenting on something.
They updated the parking, right? Did they change something with?
Yes. That one's irritating for me. Man. So Knott's Berry Farm is sort of like Disneyland, and then there's a few places that you can park. But with Knott's, they have one big, large lot that connects to Soak City, and then you kind of go through a tunnel underneath Beach Boulevard to get to Knott's. And then they have the Marketplace parking lot. And then back behind the hotel, they have the hotel lot. And then back on behind Knott's, they have another lot next to the employee parking lot. And to the north of Knott's, they have the La Palma lot. So there are parking lots all over the place, right around the park. If you got there early, you were moved into the small Marketplace lot at the very beginning of the day. I used to love parking there because there were trees. I think the La Palma lot has the trees, but it's a little more difficult to get in there. They don't always have that one open. But it was great because you could go and you could park under a tree and your car would be in the shade the entire day. Now that lot is preferred parking, basically. So it's $50 to park in that lot now, which it's not much closer than the other lots. You're maybe saving 100 feet, 200 feet. That's about it.
I know.
So I don't understand it. They'll charge pass holders who have parking added onto the pass. They'll charge you $20 to park there. So heck of a deal.
That's what I was going to ask. Yeah, if you actually get to like.
Yeah, so it's frustrating to see. Like I said, because it was, I used to love going and I'd park under the tree, and even if I left at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, my car wasn't a million degrees when I got in. So, well, what are you going to do? But that's the direction that they went, and we're stuck with it for now until hopefully people don't pay those prices and they realize, okay, we have to just make it a regular lot again and not waste the parking.
I have heart palpitations just seeing people pay $30 for parking. So seeing,
Yeah.
a $50 parking fee, it's like, really? Now, they are giving people a discount if you have an annual pass. It's only $20 if you're an annual pass holder. But why are you going to pay an extra $20 to park in that area when you already have a parking pass? It's almost ridiculous.
And like I said, if you were really getting way closer than at other lots, I'd be like, okay, I guess it makes sense. But you're not that much closer than anywhere else. In fact, there's probably spots that are closer if you get a bad spot in that lot. So,
yeah. So Jetta has been asking some questions, and I've responded to a couple of them. But she did ask, do you have to have a annual pass to have the meal plan for the season pass? Yes, you do. And they charge more, actually. So I was quoting the price for this year if you have the gold pass. But if you have the platinum pass like myself, it costs a little bit more because you can use it at all the parks. But you can get a meal. So if you just want to go visit the park for a day, obviously me and Theme Park Casual were with some friends on Sunday, and they have a meal plan where you can go every 90 minutes, and it's really worth it for the day if you're just going for the day. Our friends literally had their stopwatches, on their clocks, or their phones. Like, okay, so it's been 90 minutes. Let's go get some more food, and it makes it worth it. It's great. But if you are a pass holder, you can only do it twice every 4 hours. So it's every 4 hours, but you can only do it twice during the day. But it's still worth it. My daughter and I have it, and we think it's great. This year, I think I'm gonna have to buy one for me, my wife, and my daughter, because my wife and daughter were kind of sharing a meal together. But she's starting to eat more, my daughter, so we're gonna have to spend more money this year for the dining plan. But it's definitely worth it. And what I think is funny is I live and work really close to Knott's Berry Farm, so I have coworkers that have actually gotten the meal plan, and they'll go over there for lunch or dinner, and maybe they take it home, or maybe they eat it right there. But I mean, you could go every single day and have a lunch and dinner if you wanted to, which is well worth it if you have the meal plan.
Are the boysenberry churro sundaes included?
No,
unfortunately, no.
No. But that is one of my. If you haven't seen when I'm hanging out with Theme Park Casual or on my own at Knott's Berry Farm, my favorite thing to get is that boysenberry churro sundae. I usually get it without the churros if possible, because the churros are really big. And to be honest with you, I prefer the smaller churros. But they have some amazing boysenberry sauce with the boysenberries that just complement the ice cream. So anyhow, let's get on to what we're going to talk about before we got on to food topics at Knott's Berry Farm, which is great because I love the food there. But yeah, I think we're going to talk about some of the predictions for the theme park. So let's kick that off.
Who wants to start? No, I suggested this topic, so I guess I'll go ahead and jump in. We can start with San Fransokyo since we were talking about it. And it's coming up, and we're getting a re-theme, but it's not anything tremendous. The only real additions that they're doing is some painting and decoration to some of the buildings. There's no real structural changes. They are building the meet and greet, but I don't know how extensive that's going to be, the Baymax meet and greet. But if they get the guy to play Hero that they did in the ad, that's going to be an amazing meet and greet. That guy was Hiro Hamada. It was so perfect. It's like, I mean, he had the voice, the intonation, everything, it was just down pat. So it was spectacular. So I'm actually kind of excited to see that one. They did adjust the bridge to have the, kind of look that was in the movie that takes the Golden Gate Bridge, but kind of gives it a Japanese spin. I view this one as kind of a lateral move. It's not anything that's, necessarily going to have people booking vacations to come and see it, but it's going to be something that's kind of cool to see when you're there. So, and it's kind of interesting how they're doing it, because it's, I think you mentioned it, Cordy, things are kind of rolling as they're doing this stuff. So you're kind of seeing certain things, the place has been open the whole time. You can't cross the bridge, but the restaurants have been open, and some of them have closed at different points. But so it's kind of an interesting way that they're doing it. And rather than, shut the whole thing down, get it all done, and then open it, it's going to be kind of like, okay, well, we can see the facade on the wharf side now, and the bridge. We're watching it go up. There's going to be stuff happening, back where the meet and greet, and we've got the Baymax restroom, facade done, which looks really cool, but it's not going to have that grand opening kind of feel the way most of the time when they redo a land, like, when they did Mickey's Toontown and it reopened, it was kind of actually that one was kind of a rolling one too, wasn't it? They opened Railway and then had walls up everywhere around it. So I guess that one's a bad example. Never mind, scratch that. So, but I guess that's actually kind of what they're doing nowadays is, kind of keeping some stuff open while they're doing construction, just so that they have to deal with capacity issues at the park. So
I think it's I'm kind of glad that they're not making huge changes. I just thought that it was whoever thought of it, it was pretty genius, because there isn't a lot that you have to change. And I've always loved the fact that, like, when I go there, I feel like I'm walking down Cannery Row in Monterey, or I feel like I'm on, at Fisherman's Wharf. Like, it has that feel. And because when you go back to, like, it's Disney California Adventure. So everything, I don't know, everything's California, right? Pixar is in Emeryville. So it's like, that's all a part of California. But so it's kind of nice to be there, because you get that feel. But it was just such a good, it's a really good transition over to San Fransokyo without doing a huge, remake of it. Because I feel like I'd be kind of sad if they totally changed it completely. I think it's a good changeover.
Yeah, it's one of those ones when they announced it was kind of like, yeah, that's an obvious one. Why didn't we think about that before, And the one thing I'm really looking forward to, I really hope they have several of them. I want the big fish turbine things that were up in the air. I want to see a bunch of those, and use the force perspective, right? So that it feels like there's some way off in the distance. That's what I'm looking forward to. I really like those.
Yeah.
That would be really cool, but it makes you wonder, are they really going to do something like that? Because the one thing I was thinking too is, like, I love Big Hero 6. It's a great movie, and I agree, Cordy, having San Fransokyo there is the perfect, idea, whoever came up with it. But at the same time, I hope right now, and it's not done obviously, but right now it doesn't feel like they really changed a whole lot, other than, they're kind of changing the bridge, and they've changed some of the, logos and stuff on the buildings and whatnot. But I feel like they need to update it a little bit more. So, but they still have time. I'm not sure what else they're doing, but we'll see. But, like, Theme Park Casual said, I hope they do have some of those turbines up in the air, or some of those things that were kind of like just you identify with the movie,
Right.
And again, hopefully they'll have the same guy that played Hero, and they'll have Baymax there, and they'll maybe interject some of that sounds of San Fransokyo to make it sound like you're there. But yeah, they don't have to do a lot, but hopefully they do enough so that you feel like you're in that world. Because that's the whole thing. I love that atmosphere, and I want to feel like I'm there in San Fransokyo. It's not a very big area, so they don't have to do a whole lot, but hopefully they do enough to make you feel like you're there. Like when I go to Cars Land, when I'm in Cars Land, I feel like I'm there, in that movie, and I want to feel that way when I go to San Fransokyo. So I hope it's that way as well.
Yeah, I think I'm hoping that there's music involved, just because they can do some fun stuff with the music, because they can. I mean, obviously the big song is Immortals, but that doesn't really have you don't identify any particular culture with that. It's just the song from the movie. Whereas if you take the cultural thing that they're doing, you could infuse that same kind of rock and roll, but with the Japanese spin on it. It could be something really cool if they take the time to do something like that. And I think that would go a long way to helping you feel like you're in that world. If it's music that you're not necessarily used to hearing.
You need to have some bot fighting going on. I'm kidding.
Yeah.
The music and the mood lighting, like the way the concept art was, it looks really nice. Like when they show right from across the way with the port of San Fransokyo and just
Right.
things like that. I just hope. I mean, I know it's concept art, but I hope they can.
Yeah, like we don't have all those lanterns up yet on the wharf side.
Yeah, right.
So stuff like that, if that
Mhm.
comes later, at the last minute, that's going to be, part of the big reveal. Those are those touches that kind of start bringing all of that together, and hopefully they don't decide that, what, oh, we couldn't squeeze those into the budget.
I agree. So we talk about Disneyland's Treehouse.
What treehouse? I don't think there's a treehouse coming. There's talk of this. I've heard it. I've literally seen it, but I don't think it's really coming.
We were just talking about that the other day, Theme Park Casual, and I gotta tell you, every time I go there and I do a live stream, and I turn it, I'm like, oh hey, there's the treehouse, still with tarps around it and scaffolding and everything. And by now, I would have thought that thing would have been open. It's funny because that is one of my daughter's favorite attractions. I don't know why, but she loves that treehouse. She loves the climate. I do like the fact they've opened up that space. They've gotten rid of that bridge that went across, although it was kind of a fun bridge to go across. But you think that they would have just had it open by now. I don't know what's taking so long and what the deal is. And it's driving me nuts because I want them to open it up. But like you and I were talking about this Theme Park Casual, I'm kind of thinking that they're going to open up and it's going to be like, hey, it's open. Okay, who cares?
Yeah, I don't know how this can be taking so long. Especially, it's like I think I've got a picture from April where the tarps are down and it looks like you can see the facade of the little boat area and everything. I thought we were nearly done at that point. And here we are, almost 4 months later, and we're still waiting with no end in sight. They haven't even announced, hey, it's going to be open in August or October or anything.
Yeah, I feel like they're shifting, and just like speculation on my part as far as like labor, right? So when I was there the other night, I was going to the Haunted Mansion. At first, we all thought like, what is that sound? Like we thought it was coming from the Haunted Mansion for some reason. But then when I got off the attraction, then I saw, they're doing work on Splash Mountain. So like it seems kind of like, just general construction, how they'll go from one job to the other, right? This one's on hold, then we go to this one and work on it. So I feel like that's possibly in the treehouse, I would imagine, has got to be at the bottom of the list as far as things they want to get completed, because right, Tiana's the restaurant and everything. I don't know.
Hey, speaking of Splash Mountain, I got my shirt on. I missed this ride.
R.I.P.
Yeah. So hopefully we end up with the treehouse eventually, because the treehouse is a fun little thing and it's Disney history. So hopefully we get it soon, and it's just as fun as it used to be. Yep. So
I'm looking forward to it. I just can't believe they haven't opened it yet. So
yeah, and I'm sure it's like Cordy was saying that they're shifting labor around just so that they don't have another extra crew to have to pay, and so we deal with walls and tarps for what has it been, like at least a year and a half since they announced the tree.
I thought it's been well over a year, hasn't it?
That's what I mean. It's been a long time. I mean, because they were doing construction before they even announced anything, because everybody was speculating what's it going to be called. Remember, everybody was thinking, oh, it's going to be the Encanto, and then everybody, no, it's going to go back to Swiss Family Robinson. And
yeah, because when Pirates opened back up last July, I feel like it was already, something was already happening. Because remember when they dug out that whole piece, right? So it was like, oh, now we have more room to walk. Yeah, it has been like a year.
At least a year.
Yeah.
So when was D23? Because I think that's when they announced the name, wasn't it?
August of last year, wasn't it?
Yeah, so it's been well over a year, because we were talking about the name for months before they even announced the name, the new name, and I believe the new name came at D23. So
Well, that leads us right into Tiana's Palace.
Yeah, which I'm actually excited for.
I am too, actually.
For what it is, it's like, yeah, French Market is a classic. I think it's been there for ever since I was little. So we're losing a bit of Disneyland history, but I think what we're getting could become a new part of Disneyland history, something that's, become special in its own right, if they do it well. That's always my thing. It's like Disney has that tendency to do something spectacular, and then other times it's just kind of like, wow, what went wrong with this one? So I went on a Disney cruise, and the first night on the cruise was dinner at Tiana's place. And they had a 3-piece band and Tiana for entertainment. They blew the roof off the place. It was absolutely the funnest dinner that we had on the whole cruise. Everybody, they had the kids doing the conga line stuff. Everybody's dancing and doing all. It was a hooting and hollering, a blast. If they have stuff like that going on there, it's going to be a hit. Everybody will love it. People will be clamoring to get in. That's my hope, is that they do leave a stage. They do play the jazz. They do keep it upbeat and have it be, a very celebratory atmosphere. And without charging more, have Tiana show up and do the performances. I know that's a big ask, because you got to find somebody that's, can pull off Tiana and sing and do all that, so, how Disney doesn't have very many of those performers like that, that do the actual singing. You've got the parade performers, but they wave, they got the meet and greets. They're just talking. So now you have to find one that looks the part, can embody the part, and then can sing. So, you're really kind of narrowing, the pool of talent that can pull that all off. So hopefully they can do it, because like I said, Tiana's place on the cruise, I'm still talking about it. And that was 6 years ago. So.
Yeah, I know. I hope they do that, just like we have at DCA, right? If they kind of do something similar to that, and they perform frequently. And I know we talked about that before, like if we could have something go a little more into the evening too, like
right,
the day stuff. So that would be pretty cool, because it just seems like just a nice setting there, and I'm sure it'll be more lit up, because it was a pretty dark restaurant, like at night if you're sitting outside. So hopefully they'll, it looks like it, because I think I saw something where they had the lights on. Maybe they were just kind of testing the outdoor lighting that they had on the building, but yeah. So
yeah, I like the way they've got you can see some of the wrought iron that's been painted gold, and I'm liking the way that looks. It's given it that steamboat kind of feel, because there's going to be the smokestacks up to give it that look. So I've got high hopes for it. I'm definitely not going to be a hater on this one. It's like I said, I loved the Tiana restaurant on the cruise, so I'm hoping they capture that kind of feel. That's why I'm holding out hope.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it too. I think it's great. It's in the perfect place, obviously, in New Orleans. The other day, Theme Park Casual and I got to go up. So if you go to where the train station is in New Orleans, when you're going down the exit towards the rear of the train, you can actually stand at the top of the exit looking over the wood boards, and you can see what they're doing. You can see the bubble lights. You can see where they're going to put the tables and everything. Now, obviously, we don't know if there's going to be a stage or anything like that. The pictures doesn't show anything like that, but it would be awesome if they did something. What Theme Park Casual is suggesting is have her come out on the stage and sing to everyone, or maybe she walks around singing to everyone, if they can get a cast member to do that, which I think they could. But that would be a really, really amazing. Even if they didn't do that, I think it's going to be a great atmosphere. I think it's going to look nice, and I'm looking forward to that restaurant. I think they're going to have some really good food there. Looking forward to seeing what they're going to serve. Obviously, I'm looking forward to see how the restaurant turns out. We're seeing little bits and pieces here and there. obviously you can see what it's like over in Walt Disney World too, because they're setting it up over there. But yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing what it's going to be like. And then, you know, do you guys think it's going to open before Tiana's Bayou Adventure opens, or do you think they're going to wait and just?
Oh yeah, yeah, that's got to open. I mean, Bayou Adventure, I'm hoping that it's not opening till 2025, just because that means that they're really putting some extensive work into it, and that means that they're putting the care that it deserves. If they open it much sooner than that, then I don't know what to think at that point. Yeah, I don't want them to rush it. I want them to do it to the best possible for Imagineering. And that's a high bar. And that's what I expect out of this. I mean, for them to destroy Splash Mountain, whatever you're replacing it with had better be your best effort. Don't do a halfway job. Don't do a 70% job, 90% job. It has to be 110 on this one. Because
go ahead.
There's a lot riding on it for me, because I want to enjoy the new attraction. And if I'm constantly thinking we lost Splash Mountain for this because of workmanship, that's what I'm going to be upset about.
Yeah. What do you think, Cordy?
I'm excited for it. That's all. We're moving into this new phase, and I think on one hand, there's a lot that they can reuse from Splash, so that's kind of cool. You know, it just, and I know when me and my daughter were talking about it, she's excited about it, but she's a big fan of the movie, so she was just like, she's hoping that it's brighter. So, you know, from her point of view, right, less of that dark, scary, and more a brighter, happier kind of feel like the movie. So, you know, you kind of have a little bit of a darkness, right, obviously, but
well, that's the thing. It's not going to follow the movie.
Right.
That's the other part that's nerve-wracking for me. It's okay, you guys are taking a story that has some really cool parts that people are already, you know, and I know we can't take what we think and project it onto the Imagineers and everything, but how many people are already looking forward to hearing the song "Are You Ready?" You know, as you're going up the big hill, you know, going up the lift. That seems perfect. Right, to be that be the tension part, you know, friends on the other side, you know, the draw. Okay, it all seems so but they're not doing that. That is not going to be there. We have to be prepared for that. And if you've got fans of the movie that are looking forward to some of those elements, and those elements are just not there,
right? How
is that going to go over? You know, you've got fans that are going to say this isn't Tiana. Possibly, if they don't do it right. And that, like I said, there's a lot riding on this, because you could alienate the fans that really love Tiana and have them saying that's not a good Tiana ride. And that's, like I said, they're really going to have to thread the needle on this one.
Jetta said in the chat, I think the drop for Tiana will be smaller. Actually, it's going to be the same. The track layout should be exactly the same as it was before. It's just the different characters, different story. I agree with you. I think it would have been better if they just had stuck to the story, and I think it would have been great hearing that, "Are you ready?" You know, going up the lift. I think that's a perfect way to get you ready to go down that chute. But we'll have to wait and see what they do. One of the things I'm worried about, though, is projections. Don't get me wrong. I love rides with projections. Some rides with projections are great, but when you have too many projections in a ride, it doesn't really complement it very well. And so some rides, like, you know, Snow White's, you know, Scary Adventures, or the Snow White ride, you know, that has some projections, but very few. That I'm fine with that. You got a few projections. Even Alice in Wonderland has a few projections. But if you have a bunch of projections and hardly any animatronics, that really kind of discourages me, because I want to see those animatronics. And from what it sounds like, they're not including as many animatronics as they had originally planned as well. And who knows what they're going to be doing. Hopefully they're repurposing some of the ones from America Sings that they used in Splash Mountain. But obviously some of those need to be refurbished or probably, redone. But who knows what they're going to do. So it'll be interesting to see. I'm really hoping that it turns out to be better than what we think it's going to be. I was really disappointed because, so by the way, all that noise that we were hearing on Splash Mountain the other night, they were actually disassembling the top of the tree is what they're doing right now. So it's a real bummer. But hey, I'm going to try to be optimistic about it, even though I'm really upset that Splash Mountain's going away, and it was one of my favorite, water rides there at the park. And I have some great memories of that ride. I'm crossing my fingers that it's going to be better than what we think, but time will tell.
Yeah.
And Andrew Disney commented in here that he's heard that Tony Baxter is heavily involved in the making of the new ride.
I will say this. He was tapped to come and help with the retheme. He agreed to it. And since then, we have not heard anything from Tony Baxter. I'll just put it that way.
Yeah, it doesn't appear that he's going to be a part of this, unfortunately, at all.
Yeah. My sources say that he is no longer involved with it. I don't know that for sure. I have no way of knowing that. But like I said, I haven't seen anything that mentions Tony Baxter since the original, hey, Tony Baxter is gonna help us with it. And after that, I haven't seen anything. So
Yeah, and Main Street Cowgirl, I agree with you. That's just like with everything. She says the Imagineers will never be able to please everyone, unfortunately. So that's the other thing, right? There's,
yeah, and I've said it on my streams. Part of what irks me a little bit about this is Tiana in the Disney canon is a very important princess. She's the first African American princess. It's got some weight just from that alone. And we have people that are still alive who went through, the 50s and 60s with the whole civil rights movement and the shift in the country. They've seen things over time slowly start to get better. As a grandparent, you would love to be able to take your daughter, your granddaughter, or your grandson on a ride at Disneyland, knowing an African-American princess finally has her ride, has her attraction. With Splash Mountain, because of the ride system, it by nature takes people that it basically eliminates some people from being able to ride it due to health reasons and whatever. Some people just out of fear of the drop. Some people, they're not tall enough. Tiana should have had a ride that grandparents can celebrate with their granddaughter or grandson to explain why this is a huge deal, why this is a big deal to them, and be able to say, do you know how long I've waited to be able to see an African-American princess in Disneyland brought to life like this, the same way all the other princesses have been? That's what I as much as, it's going to be great that she gets her ride, I think it should have been something that could be completely get enjoyed by the entire family together. And that's where I think it's like, I wish they would have thought about that aspect of it a little bit, so that, when Tiana has her ride, it's the kind of thing where anybody can ride it. It's not, grandma and grandpa watching from the sidelines, or a little girl being told she can't go on it because she's not tall enough.
Good point.
Yeah, that's a good point. I think more to me, though, is the storyline that they've come out with, that they've been sharing with everyone. That to me is more disappointing than anything, because I think, going back to what you were saying earlier, if they would just done their actual movie and had a ride like, Winnie the Pooh or Peter Pan or Pinocchio, or one of those rides where you go through the story, I think it would have been better. Trying to come up with a whole new story with all new songs and everything, I'm not sure how this is going to work, especially since we won't even get into the story right now. But the story is kind of the crazy story. But When it gets closer to opening, we'll talk more about that and we'll see how it is, and we'll experience it. We'll see how it really is, and then we can, talk about it. I don't really like talking about things until we see how it turns out. I mean, I remember, speaking of things turning out, like Tobey Maguire, they wanted to make him Spider-Man. I was like, really? And then he found okay. So, you never know how things are going to turn out. You hear about these things and you're like, oh, they're destroying my favorite ride. And
you could be completely surprised like me. I had watched videos of Runaway Railway and the whole little Daisy's dance room scene. I thought that was like the dumbest thing. I was like, oh my God, this is.
And then you're sitting there.
Why did they even have it? And now when you do the conga, that is my favorite part of the whole ride. The conga thing is like, I love it. I laugh, I'm smiling, and I'm thinking this is the best.
Well, it's hilarious because whenever I'm doing a live stream or not even doing a live stream, you've got people and it's become a routine thing where they just, they do their hands or they do their fingers, or, copying, Daisy. And I think it's hilarious too. It's pretty cool.
Yeah. So, and that for me, I think the interior scenes for Tiana are going to be spectacular. I think they're going to be literally the kind of thing where you're like just jaw-droppingly gorgeous. I really think they are. But I hope the story supports it well enough to where it's a complete package and we get off that ride and go, wow, they did a spectacular job. That's my hope.
So I wanted to see, I don't know a lot about it. I don't want to know a lot about it, but are you guys doing Not Scary Farm, HHN?
I'm pretty sure I'm going to be at Scary Farm at least once, possibly more times. I'm still, one of these days I'll jump on one side of the fence or the other and get the all-season pass. I'm
trying to talk him into that.
I know.
I want him to get it. Come on, casual.
But I do have a source for anybody that is a Scary Farm fan. I don't know if this has been announced anywhere or anything. And like I said, my source will take it with a grain of salt because you never know. Sometimes people have misinterpreted things that they've even heard. But the area where the Pumpkin Eater maze was last year or is every year. It's like just to the right of the entrance gates, of the entrance turnstiles. I believe that is going to be a tribute maze.
Nice.
So you are going to have, basically a Hall of Fame maze where you will be going through, a couple of rooms from the great mazes of the past and traveling through several scenes from, who knows what mazes they're going to choose, but you'll be getting some, flashbacks from years past. So I think that's kind of cool. I don't know. It's interesting because normally when they create a new maze, it's supposed to be there for several years so that they can pump a decent amount of money into it and get some return on it so they don't have to change it over, quickly. I don't know if a tribute maze can last more than 1 year, but it is the 50th anniversary. So they could be saying, we got to do it. And, next year we'll come up with another maze in its spot. But so that's what I've heard, that we do have a tribute maze, which, like I said, I think that's kind of cool. I like that.
Yeah, I like that. I think that would be cool too. I would totally look forward to a tribute maze. And I think, like you said, depending on how they do it, it could totally work and work for 2 or 3 years. I know typically they do keep the mazes for at least, it seems like anywhere from 3 to 5 years. Pumpkin Eater was one of my favorites, and I was disappointed to hear that was going to go away. But at the same time, a tribute maze would be great. But they have some pretty amazing, mazes there at Not Scary Farm. I mean, I enjoy going every single year, and I did buy the season pass, so I will be going more than once, and hopefully Theme Park Casual will also get that season pass so we can all, go together. And Cordy, are you going to get the season pass? Are you going to go at all?
That's the lovely thing about live streams.
So curious though, what is it that you don't like about it or just doesn't appeal to you to where you'd want to spend the money on it or even attend it?
I think it's more the real people. I think it's almost okay. So in the mazes, like from what I've watched, like any haunted house, right? Like it's so like enclosed, and you're like, I have nowhere to run. Like if somebody pops out, I have nowhere to go. I don't know. I'm trying to work myself up to possibly doing something, but it's the people, because I don't know. It's the real people thing. Like if it was just like jump scare, like little things popping up, you're like, but it's not going to move after that. But and then outside, like you're not safe anywhere. You can't even walk around.
I will say though, for those of you who have never gone to Not Scary Farm or Halloween Halloween Horror Nights or anything like that, the thing is, if they know that they can scare you, they just will not let up, and they will just continue to go after you and scare you and stuff. You just have to act like you're not scared, and they leave you alone pretty quickly. For me, because I am like that, and I'm like, oh, okay, you scare me or whatever. I don't let it get to me. But when you go through the mazes, I think for me, what I love is I love seeing some of those animatronics. Some of those really, do scare me and get to me, and I think that's pretty amazing. But Cordy, you just have to, maybe all three of us go one night, and we'll stream it, and you can stand right in the middle between us. Just don't scream or yell, and you'll be fine.
Do you even know me?
She'll be wearing sunglasses. Look,
yeah, that would help.
I don't know if you could tell, Cordy, but I'm in my backyard. It's pitch black right now, so it's almost like Halloween Horror Nights back here. Jeez.
Wait, what is that? Oh no, I'm kidding.
Yeah, but who's the guy behind you? Yeah.
Too funny. But I think it's gonna be a lot of fun. I hope that you guys will join us when we do the live streams. Obviously, I know Cordy is gonna be doing some of the more family friendly, like Oogie Boogie's bash, and I'll be doing that as well. But
do we have anything new scheduled for Oogie Boogie? Do we know of anything that's going to be like premiering there? Like last year they had Ernesto, right? That was the big hit from last year.
Yeah, and hopefully he'll be back, because he was.
Oh, he's got to be back. If he's not back, they really don't have their pulse on the community at all.
Yeah,
I was just curious. I was just curious if they've announced any new villains or anything, because they had Madam Mim last year, right? Too, she was new.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and the Sanderson sisters too. That was a new one last year. Bruno, of course.
Oh, that's right. He premiered last year.
Yeah, I personally haven't heard anything yet of anything new. So there has to be. I would imagine there would be something, but I just not that I can recall.
I'm looking online right now, and I don't see.
Wasn't it Lotso? Didn't they say Lotso was going to be there?
Oh yeah, I think he was going to come. Let's see. Let me. Oogie Bash. Yeah, I think he's supposed to. Okay, so Lotso's coming back, or coming this year, and then let's see. They're gonna have the Sanderson sisters from Hocus Pocus are supposed to be coming. Looks like Bruno might be there.
Yeah, I heard he was coming.
Yep.
One that I wish they could do, but they'd have to do it really, really well, and it would have to be some sort of a costume / animatronic, is Scar. I really think if they could have a scene where you're talking to him, and I think that would be really cool.
They do a little bit of in the Villain's Grove, right? You get that whole scene, but that would be pretty cool.
That Villain's Grove is what I want to go to Boogie Boogie for. That is like the only thing where I'm just like, I would almost buy a ticket just to go and see that, because that just looks so cool. I'm surprised they haven't tried to expand on that idea, because I think if they did like a whole castle dungeon kind of thing and base it off of some of the villains like Maleficent and stuff like that, they could do some really cool mazes, and even do some light jump scares, kind of the way they do in Haunted Mansion. They're jump scares, but not really jump scares. I think they could do something really cool. because yeah, that area just looks so. Like I said, it's the only thing that I'm just like, gosh darn it, I want to go, but I'm not going to spend the money just to see that one thing.
And the sound, like they have it like it's perfect. The one thing I'll say, if anybody goes for the first time, is, and I think I've noticed, I just noticed overall, but like the rushing thing where they're like, keep it moving, keep it moving, keep it moving. But you just kind of hang back and just, I'm just looking over here. But like, I think
zigzag your way down the path, go side to side.
Because you miss a lot. Because I see people like rushing through, and I'm like, you could go again, but the line is very long. So that wouldn't really be the smartest thing. So I just want to say, take your time if you're going through there, and because things. Like there's those light projections of like Queen of Hearts and Maleficent, and you have to wait, right? You have to wait for it all to kind of happen because it doesn't.
Right, because there's so much stuff. It's like it's not just a quick look at it and go away.
Right.
It's like there's stuff. There's like a story that unfolds at each scene, and to rush people through it, that's terrible.
Yeah, so just take your time, guys. If you haven't been there before, you might already know to do that, but just take it slow.
Well, we hope that you'll join us when we go to those Halloween haunts, though. It's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to have a blast. So I do know that I will be there for the opening night of Not Scary Farm, and then I'm going to Oogie Boogie's Bash on September 12th. When are you going, Cordy? To Oogie Boogie's Bash?
The Thursday before. And is that the 7th? The 9th?
9th, I think it is. Is it?
Yeah.
I think it is.
Yeah, I think it is. Yeah, 7th, 9th, 10, 11, 12. Yeah. But I'll be there that day too, but that's just with my daughter. So we'll see you there.
Very cool. Very cool. All right. Is anyone going to Halloween Horror Nights at all? Cordy's like, not me.
I'm not.
I want to, but it's a lot of money. I can't go to that place without doing the front line or the Universal Express. I have to do it, but that means you're paying $350 for one night to go, especially if it's like on a weekend. So.
Oh wow. Do they have do they have any type of like if you buy a pass type thing where you? They do.
Their pass there, I believe, I think it goes for around $350 as well for the pass. And they have two different ones. You have one where you can go most of the nights, and they have the one you can go all the nights. And of course, it costs more to go to all the nights, but it doesn't include the front line, Universal Express for that. So that's extra on top of it. So it gets right now, unfortunately, it's getting very expensive to go to Universal. And I know I've also wanted to go to the one in Florida. I've never been able to go to that one, but the one in Hollywood, I've been to that several times. It's great. The production value is amazing because there's a movie studio. So it's really, really cool to be able to go and experience those mazes. Obviously, they're doing The Last of Us this year, and they just announced they're going to do Stranger Things 4. I'm sure that will be an amazing maze. But some of the mazes they've had in the past are just incredible. So I do want to go. I don't know. I know in Florida they don't let you stream at the Halloween Horror Nights. But apparently, I guess they do here in Hollywood. Apparently, people were able to stream last year, from what I understand. But we'll have to see. But if we do decide, or if we're able to, I'll try to. But I'm trying to see if I can go at least once this season. I have a friend who's a big, huge horror fan, and he likes to go to every single Halloween haunt there is, including all the little ones you might find in other counties or cities or whatnot. So, maybe we'll check out some of those as well.
Yeah, I've got a friend, and trying to get me to go to Midsummer Scream just to go check it out, and I'm like, does anybody want to see somebody who's not really all that into the Halloween scene going to Midsummer Scream? I'd be like, I don't know what I'm doing. What is that? Why are they doing that?
Yeah, see, now that I would like
where you just learn about the stuff.
Yeah, and I don't know, like see it in that way, not in the scaring me way.
I'm actually another reason why I want to go to Not Scary Farm this year is because last year they had the chaperone policy in full effect and they were not selling the all season pass. So the night that I went was rather lightly attended, and that does something to the atmosphere. If you don't have the big groups of junior high school kids and high school, the 15 and under crowd barreling and running and screaming through because the monster's chasing them, you lose. It literally loses something. You need that kind of crazy, silly energy in the area, throughout the whole place to just kind of get you in that mood of, okay, we're having fun here. This is hilarious. And when you don't have that, it kind of, it felt like there were some bad choice words, but dead spots. There were areas where it was just like, okay, there's nothing going on here. Whereas if you had tons of, like I said, the 15 and under crowd running, screaming, laughing, doing their thing, you'd be like, okay, no, this is great. Because like Bob, I don't get scared. I have zero reflexes. So, the monsters come up and they do a great scare, and then they're just like, this guy's worthless. So they just avoid me. They could see that, I'm not going to scare him. So they just move on. And so I'm kind of left just kind of watching everybody else. So if there's not very much to watch, I'm not having a great time because I'm not getting scared. So
yeah, I usually get more jumpy when it comes to the mazes and things like this. Scare zones really not, they don't scare me, but I love them as scare zones. I think they're cool. I love seeing everyone in character. So
I was going to say, did they call the cops on you? Because now you're going to have to break up the party.
Quick, he's doing a live stream. Let's go get him.
Yeah.
Exactly.
He's making all this noise in his backyard.
On that note, Bob's got to run, so we're
Yeah, Bob is on the run.
Well, it's probably a good thing because I don't know if you guys saw, but in the chat they're asking us to sing a song together. Jetta, what are you saying? That magic happens, perhaps? Here we go. We'll just play the song for you, Jetta. How's that?
Oh, magic hat. We can sing along with Magic Happens.
Yep. That way we don't have to sing it.
We know the choreography, don't we, by now?
Yes.
Yeah, I know. This is, we've seen that thing so many times, but I gotta tell you, it's still one of my favorite parades that
I
they've
love
come
it.
out with.
I agree.
And it's a great song. So I just wish, that you can download the song from iTunes or many of the different music stores, but it's only like a 2.5, 3 minute version of it. It's not the whole version with all the different but it's still, you can find those on YouTube. But yeah, it's a great song. But yeah, we're not singing tonight. Sorry, Jetta. Theme Park Casual is a crooner.
They won't sing.
He'll do it.
Theme Park crooner needs a car. He needs a car.
I need a nice loud lawnmower style engine going off right behind me.
He'll do it at 1,500 subs.
Yeah.
Oh yes, and let's just kind of that. Speaking of that, although Theme Park Casual did not get his pin last time he was there,
Yeah.
he hit his.
I totally forgot to get my pin.
Subscribers.
Oh.
So,
Yep.
congratulations.
Hey, congratulations.
To you.
Theme Park Buble.
That's funny. I love that. We got to show that one. Look at that Theme Park Buble. I love that.
That's actually funny because when I go to Panera because I got the
that
club where I can get as many drinks as I want, and I've started mixing the charged lemonade with the bubbly, and that's the one that Michael Bublé was doing the advertisement for. Yep. So I always call it Bublé now. So
pass me Bublé.
Well, congrats to Theme Park Casual for hitting 1,000 subs. That's awesome. So
thank you. And you hit 500, and you smashed that. You're like almost at 600 now, right?
I hit 550 today, actually. So actually, it's funny. One of my wife's coworkers, Cynthia, and I'm not sure if she's watching because she said she was going to watch tonight. She actually was my 550th sub. So thank you, Cynthia, for doing that. I appreciate it. And yep, well onto 600. So hopefully I'll be joining you guys. Obviously, I have a lot to aspire to for you guys. So
well, I was number 500 for you. So
that's true.
And I plan to be number 1,000 as well.
And I had planned on doing 1,000 for you too, but unfortunately, you hit 1,000 before you did your live stream, so I couldn't.
Yeah, that was funny. I was hoping, I was like, okay, I'm about 30 away, and I'm doing Knott's, and then Disneyland on its birthday. I was like, so Knott's, I don't usually get very many new subs, and then Disneyland, with so many people being there, it's going to be tough to really have much of an audience. So I put out a tweet, saying, hey, I'm in the home stretch. And then people started sharing it, and I started like gaining subscribers from that. And then a couple of the shorts that I put out got me another like 12 or 15 subscribers. And then next thing I know, I'm at like 996, and I'm like, oh man, I'm going to hit this before I'm on a live stream, and I want to hit it on a live stream.
I know.
And sure enough, yeah, it was like Saturday night. I was watching some buddies do their stream, and they mentioned it. Next thing I know, I'm over 1,000. I was just like, oh, thanks, guys.
Oh, Cordy Wilson saying, hi, Cordy, I love your streams. He doesn't love our streams, but he loves your streams. So that's all.
Well,
That's great.
yeah, and Mike Medina is saying that I need to go with you guys to Not Scary Farm so I can be scared for all three of us.
Oh, I agree.
That's probably accurate.
You know what?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so too.
I don't know. We'd have to put a warning on there because I cannot promise that I will not scream the entire time. I'll laugh. I'll
I
scream,
think
I'll
they
cry.
sell. I think for like $8, you can buy like a light up lanyard that the monster that it's a don't scare me lanyard, and all the monsters know that they're not supposed to do anything to you. So
The one that's made for like 8-year-olds.
Well, they recommend
Yes.
no one under 13 though. Oh, that's too funny. That's too funny. Well, see, Cordy, you have an out there. You can get the necklace,
true.
and you'll be fine. Of course, you'll
And
be
we
hanging
turn
with
it
me.
off if I
Park
feel
Casual.
brave.
There you go. See, I like that. That's a good idea. So,
That's true. Yeah.
oh, they're back.
Oh.
Maybe this wasn't a good idea. Doing the backyard. I thought it'd be fun and atmospheric. Too funny. Well, with that, should we go ahead and end the stream?
I think so. I think we've talked about pretty much everything.
I think so.
Any questions or anything in the
That's
chat
what I was
right
looking
now?
at. Yeah. Any last comments, questions?
Trish says she'd almost pay to watch it.
Question, sarcastic remark. What's that?
Trish said she'd almost pay to watch it.
There you go. See, she would pay to watch it. There you go. I'm all for that.
Oh my gosh, that would be. That'd be something. So I'll keep working on that. I have a little time.
Yeah.
Right, to decide. Yeah, I think no. Are they making a new parade?
I have not heard of anything.
Are you talking about for the Halloween, or are you talking about just one to replace Magic Happen?
It says at Disneyland. I haven't heard anything about a new parade.
Yeah, I haven't heard anything either. So
yeah, and I think how well Magic Happens has been received. I don't think that one's going anywhere. I know it does go away after August, I think, right?
It does. And then shortly after that, they'll be doing the holiday one.
Right.
And then after the holiday one, they'll probably come out with a new one sometime next year, I would think.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering.
I think Magic Happens comes back for the next, I think at least the next 3 years.
What about the fireworks?
Fireworks go to Halloween Wish. Is it Halloween Screams? Is that
August 31st? But do you think that's coming back next year as well?
The Halloween fireworks?
No, our
Wondrous Journeys. Oh yeah, that's coming back. Yeah, they're not going to redo that one. That's going to be here for quite some time.
Okay,
I'd say at least 5 to 7 years.
And then World of Color.
How long?
Oh yeah, that's a good show. There's no reason to redo it.
World of Color 1?
Oh, World of Color 1? Oh, that
Yeah,
one's
that's
that
what you
one's
just
going
said.
away next year.
Yeah, that one's going away. I don't think that one's staying.
Yeah, that
Look,
one's not gonna
don't get
hang
me
out.
wrong. I know a lot of people like the show. World of Color is amazing and it looks nice, but it's just not as catchy as Wondrous Journey. So I don't think it's going to last. And is it Jamito or Hamido? It said any info on the People Mover return rumor. I'm thinking about work. PeopleSoft.
It was like
Um,
PeopleSoft.
Yeah, PeopleSoft.
It's not even close.
Hold on, I got to do some HRS stuff.
That
Yeah, I know.
doesn't rhyme. That doesn't have the same number of letters. Doesn't even have the same letters.
Theme park casual. You're talking to Barry Priest on me. You should know by now. Yeah. So People Mover. It's a rumor. I would love for it to come back, but I just don't see it coming back anytime soon. But we'll see. Well, that was it.
Yeah.
No comments for you guys.
Well, no,
I
I mean,
know.
I don't think there's any way they could get the People Mover back without serious changes to it. So it probably wouldn't have the same feel. I think that it would.
Mhm.
It would be wonderful, but yeah, in reality, yeah, that's a pretty major.
Well, Valiente says, "Hey, electrical parade. Hopefully."
Well, that's what's funny. I would love it if they brought the Electric Parade back, but I know there's a lot of people that would just be like, that old thing.
Yeah.
So
what was that one that was only there for that 1 year? Light. What was that called? I can't remember. Who cares? Oh, so real quick, Christy's asking. No, not Paint the Night. Paint the Night.
Oh, Light Magic.
No,
Light Magic. Oh,
Thank
yeah,
you.
yeah. Oof.
Oof.
Yeah, that was
Beautiful
bad.
floats, but terrible. Christy's asking, do you still have to make reservations to enter the parks in California? Yes,
Yep.
you do, but hopefully that will change eventually, like they did with Walt Disney World, but we'll see. But thanks for asking, Chrissy.
And then Jetta was asking about, where they have the DVC stuff going on now in Tomorrowland. I can't think.
Oh, the launch bay.
Oh, the Launch
Yeah.
Bay area.
He said the round rotating building, which I was like, I understand
Carousel
that.
building.
Carousel Progress, Old America Sings, that one.
But that's what it is, right? Officially now, isn't that dedicated, or have you guys heard anything?
I believe it's just the upstairs that's DVC. I don't think anything's changed in the downstairs.
Okay.
I think.
Yeah.
That's what I understand it to be.
Okay.
Mhm.
No, you guys haven't heard anything or any updates there, or what might happen?
No, I mean, with DVC Lounge going in, figure it's probably safe for at least a year. I mean, I know they didn't do big refurbishment in there, but if they spent any money on it, it's probably a year that they're expecting it to get their money back on or make money off of it. So there's been a lot of time, and that's the thing. It's like we have conflicting reports. Some people say, Disney is completely ready, willing, and able to, redo the monorail track, get rid of Autopia, fill in the sub lagoon, and put something new there. Then you hear other people saying that they're not about to change the monorail track. They're not going to do anything with that, and so what are we supposed to think? Until they announce something, it's all up in the air. And we've seen that, Disney is willing to, they moved all the horses to Norco and truck them in every day for their shifts on Main Street. So for Galaxy's Edge, they got rid of the Circle D Ranch, and now the horses, they take a trip along the 91 from Norco, come in, do their shift, and then they get trucked back over to their home for, I don't even know what their shifts are. Main Street Cowgirl probably knows the whole
she probably
logistics of it, and what the animals are allowed to do, and how much, how long they're allowed to be out, and if it's, I would hope that they're not trucked in, back-to-back days. I would hope that they get a day at their home, and then the next day they go in, do a shift, and then come back and they're at their home for another day. Because God, I would not want to be on the 91 2 days in a row.
Well, theme park you stirred up some controversy there with the whole, that old thing being the, Main Street Electrical Parade.
I'm not saying that that's how I feel. That's how other people react. I think Main Street Electrical Parade is the quintessential nighttime parade. You can look at my comments that I've put online. There is no music that is more iconic than the Main Street Electrical Parade music.
Yes. So he's not disagreeing with you, Valiente. So.
I absolutely love it. I would be the first one there for opening night of Main Street Electrical Parade if they brought it back.
Yeah. Well, with
No,
that,
see, look at that. Main Street Cowgirl. They work 3 hours a day, 4 days a week. It jumped on me. And then 5 to 6 days off.
wait,
See?
where'd it go?
Okay, good. Very good.
So yeah, good to know that they take care of them.
Oh, there it is. Yeah. Okay, that's great.
Mhm.
Thank you, Main Street Cowgirl.
They also get chiropractic work and massages. The horses are very well cared for.
Seriously?
I'm going to be a Disneyland horse when I retire. That's what
Yeah.
I'm going to do. I want chiropractic
better
care
than
and
the job.
massages.
Did you see where Theme Park Casual went? No, but he needed a tranquilizer, so he's back there. Oh man. Well, this has been fun.
Yeah.
And I just want to say, thank you everyone for hanging out with us tonight. We've really had a great time, and I hope you've had a great time too. We heard a lot of great feedback from many of our subscribers and fans saying they wanted us to come back and do this. So this should be a regular thing that we do from time to time. So I just want to say thanks for joining us.
Yeah, thank you all so much.
This has been fun. I'm glad that everybody's liking it. I love that everybody was chiming in tonight and giving us extra stuff to talk about.
Yeah, very
Oh,
interactive.
yes.
Thank you guys. So I think, do we want to kind of end with how we started with Berry Place, where we can find you on social media?
Yep. So you can find me on Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube at BerryPlace28. So please come and join me. I'm still building my channel, and love for all of you to spend time with me when I'm in the parks, and that's where you can find me.
Wonderful. And Theme Park Casual?
You can find me on YouTube at Theme Park Casual, on Twitter and Instagram, also at Theme Park Casual. And I've got my merch store. And just to let everybody know, I have inquired about getting hats produced. I've had a lot of great feedback from the hat that my friend made for me. So I asked him what it would take to get them done. And he's working on pricing for me right now. So very soon we might be able to have those available for purchase. So I'm
Nice. Well,
hoping and kind of excited about that.
Those are pretty awesome hats. But since you're pimping your store, I have a store too. So check out my store merch link. And Cordy, where can we find you?
And Cordy In California on YouTube, TikTok, and Instagram. No store yet, just stickers. Luckily we got that far.
Yeah, which I still need to get one of those stickers. I didn't even get one that day.
I
I
know.
know. They're very,
Very exclusive, apparently.
yeah,
Very cool.
you have to know
Very cool.
the secret password.
Although
No.
I am getting some new holographic stickers tomorrow, Cordy. So I can't wait to show you because it's very similar to yours. So
Oh yeah, no, I got the clear ones. So I want to see how
Oh,
those
cool.
look too. So
yeah, I didn't order the clear ones. And if you're wondering what we're talking about, Sticker Mule is where we get most of our stuff from. That we order for all of our fans. So Sticker Mule has deals once a week, usually on Tuesdays, and so we usually do the same thing, get those deals. So, but if you don't know, we usually carry our own swag. So if you happen to be in the parks, please say hi to Cordy or Theme Park Casual or myself, because we love to give you some swag and obviously spend some time with you and say hi. So don't hesitate to do that so that we can celebrate with you.
all right, perfect. Well, thank you all very, very much, and have a great night. And we shall see you in the parks.
Yeah.
Awesome.
And by the way, I just wanted to say, we're all streaming from our own different channels. So if you would, please go, if you like the stream tonight, please like the stream on all of our channels tonight. And with that, thank you so much. We'll see you guys real soon. Thanks for joining.
All right. Good night,
Good
kids.
night.
Good night.
Eyes on